good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Apron Strings. If you hadn't been here before, I sure am glad you came. I hope you come often and enjoy the content, and if you do, please subscribe and hit that little bell so you'll be notified when I put up another video, and give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm cooking. I do a little bit of cooking, a little bit of piano playing, a little bit of gardening, a little bit of sewing, and a whole lot of talking. So y'all come on in and I'll just fill you full of all kind of words. This morning I'm going to make a breakfast crunch wrap. And I haven't made it before, I'm going to be honest with you. I've eaten them from Jack in the Box, but I'm going to make my own. Now, we went on a trip to Tennessee a few years ago to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's, Troy's brother, and Irma was telling me about them and told me how she made them, but I never have made any. And you can do it 2 or 3 different fillings, and I may do that today, and I may just do breakfast. But right now, I've got my bacon on to cook. You need some bacon. And I'm just going to do for one today, because I'm a day late, but I'm going to do the cooking for 1 or 2. So I'm just going to make one. But of course you can make as many as you want to, however many mouths you've got to feed, or however many each mouth wants to put in. You're going to need burrito-sized flour tortillas. And I just picked mine up at Kroger, or H-E-B, or wherever. An egg, 1 egg per crunch wrap, and some sliced cheese. A little bit of milk to stir in with your egg when you scramble it, and that's all it takes, and then you just cook it, and I'll show you how we do that. I know I always say it ain't rocket science, and it ain't, but I'm going to just prove to y'all for sure and certain that I'm cooking bacon over here. And sometimes I stack it up in there, and then when it starts shrinking, I can spin it around and have each individual piece touching the skillet, and that's what I like. So I'm going to get that crispy, and then I'm going to take it out and scramble my egg in here. I'm going to put my tortillas, I'll show y'all what I'm going to do with them in a minute. I'm going to soften them a little bit in the microwave, and then they'll be ready to fold over and make my crunch wrap, and then I'm going to cook it in the iron skillet. Now, if your house is all prim and proper, you might not cook bacon in the house. You might not like to smell it. But some of my best memories growing up was when we'd get to my grandma and grandpa's house. They had a smokehouse. They raised their own pigs and smoked their own bacon. And I loved to walk into Mom and Dad's house because it smelled like smoked bacon. And I've told y'all before, there was a little dish on the table. It was like a miniature dish pan. It was about that big around. It was turned upside down over a saucer, and we would race in there to pick that up to see if they had any bacon left from breakfast. But we could smell that. And then I'd go, as I got older, out to Aunt Helen and Uncle Buster's, and her house had where she'd been cooking. You could smell it. Well, to me, that smells like home. If you're a country person, you'll understand. If you want everything all pretty and spotless and looking like an Ethan Allen showroom, you might not cook bacon in your house. But you're missing out on some memories for your family too, because, you know, that's what draws them to the kitchen, smelling that food cooking. So I do cook my bacon in here, and I don't want to burn this, so I'm fixing to get me a paper towel to drain it, and then I'll drain a little bit of my bacon grease off. See, I got a jar back here. That bacon grease is gold. Have you priced it in the store? You can buy it in the store now. But I just saved my own and use it to season with. So let me get a paper towel on a plate and put the bacon on it. Then I'll get our egg fixed. Another thing is, when you take your bacon out of the skillet, you want to have it straight and lay it down straight instead of just dumping it all on there and having a bunch of wonky jawed pieces to work with. Even to put it on your plate, a straight piece of bacon looks better. So straighten it out on your plate when you get it out of the skillet while it's still a little bit pliable, and you can do that. So now let me pour some of this grease in here. And this is my scan pan that's non-stick, so I don't have to worry about my eggs sticking if it doesn't have a lot of stuff in the bottom. So I'm going to get my egg whisked up. Let me turn y'all around. I'm just going to whisk my egg a little bit, and I'm going to put probably a tablespoon of milk in it to make it fluffier. That's all it does. It fluffs it up a little bit. That's about a tablespoonful. The other day, Kroger had those little half gallons of milk. If you did clip their coupon, 77 cents. And that's a handy little size to use. I was proud of that. Okay, let me put this stirrer over here in the sink. And we'll be ready to turn back around and scramble our eggs. Now my skillet is still warm from a while ago, and I'm going to put it down on medium-low, and I'm going to put my egg in here. And I've showed y'all before, when you make scrambled eggs, you don't just whisk and stir and whisk and stir. You want to just kind of gently move the egg around as you see it starting to cook. And that way you'll have like a bigger piece, just like that. Just kind of scoot it around instead of stirring it and having a bunch of giblets, okay? So I'm going to get my egg cooked, and then we're going to heat our tortillas. And what I like, when I'm going to do something like this, I like to get under it and flip it in one hunk if I can, because I like for it to be all together. Okay, I'm going to let that cook. What I'm going to do on the tortillas is I'm going to wet some paper towel. Tell y'all what, we are having lots of rain in Texas right now. Okay, let me turn y'all around. I've got my paper towel wet, and I'm just going to put, I'm just making one of this kind. So I'm going to put it on my paper towel and wrap that damp paper towel around it. And I'm going to put it in the microwave for just a tad and let it get soft. And then we'll be back and show you what we're doing. Okay, I got my tortilla out. And the phone rang, as you heard, so I don't know if it's still going to be pliable or not, but we're going to see. So what you do is, you lay some strips of bacon in the middle. And this was real thin bacon. I think I bought that big old package at Sam's that had a bunch in it. And then you want to put your scrambled egg on it and a slice of cheese. Now, I went ahead and put the cheese where it would be, go ahead and melt and be my glue. Turn my fire on under my skillet. And what you do, you want to just start folding, like you just fold until you get it all folded over to where it's going to, see my thing is a little bit hard. Get back in there, cheese. And I've got my skillet heating. See, it looks kind of all folded up. And I'm going to put it in the skillet over here, the folded side down, where it'll brown and seal. And then I'm going to flip it and brown the other side. So let me get the camera turned around. And then I'm going to put some fresh tomatoes with it. I don't know what you'd want with yours, but I love tomatoes on anything. Of course, it's red. Of course, I love it. Okay, here we go. Boogity boogity. Okay, my oil in there is shimmering a little bit, so it's, how hot is that? I better not sit that on there. Let's put something in there and see if it's gonna, I just got a little olive oil in it. I didn't want to cook it in the bacon grease. But if you put it in there before your oil gets hot enough to start crisping it, it's going to be chewy and doughy, and you want it to be a crunch. So let your oil get warmed up. And then, I got it on a medium high. It'll get warmed up here. Then we'll put it in there on its head and get it good and brown and flip it over. Yeah, the oil's starting to have a little sheen to it, so it's getting there. So let me just take it, I'll fold it up like this, and I'm going to turn it over. Yeah, it's hot. I hear the sizzle. I'm going to let that side brown to a crunch. Then I'm going to flip it over and brown the other side, and we'll have us a breakfast crunch wrap. But I really want to make like a Tex-Mex taco crunch wrap, and I think I'm going to do that too. Same scenario. Get your tortilla soft and put your meat and cheese in it, and then you're going to top it with your lettuce and tomatoes. You could also do a pizza one. You could put your pepperoni, your hamburger, whatever you want in there. Put you some mozzarella or Italian blend cheese and fold it over and cook it, and it's like a little hand pie pizza. My cheese ran out and was causing me some problems there. Okay, I'm going to let it brown, and when it gets browned, I may turn it back over to brown that side just a little bit more, and then we'll get us a bite of it. Okay, it's brown on both sides, and I want to put it on this rack instead of paper towel because I want it to stay crispy. So if you're going to make them to feed your family, you want to get you a rack to put them on as you take them out of the skillet, and that way they'll stay good and crispy for you. So I'll bring y'all over to the butcher block here in a minute, and we'll get us a bite of this. Okay, I'm going to show y'all up close. You can see a little bit of the cheese in the middle. And I like jalapenos and tomatoes, so that's what I'm having with mine. Okay, let me see here. Now, I'm going to try to cut it with this fork, but normally, I'd pick it up like hand pie and eat it. Let me get me a piece of pepper on it. And a piece of tomato on it. Get on there. That is yummy. Bacon and eggs, cheese, easy to eat. Now if you want to make this for your kiddos, this is real easy. I found me a new winner. Wow, I'm going to get a swig of tea, and then I got some things I want to tell y'all, and it's a miracle testimony that I need to share. I'll be right back. You know how I've been telling you just about every video that today is the present? It's a gift, and we're not promised tomorrow. I got a call Tuesday night. My daughter-in-law had been in a horrible one-car vehicle accident. She doesn't really remember what happened. She thinks that she came up on somebody towing a vehicle, and she was going to get over in the passing lane, and she overcompensated, and she went down the side of an 18-wheeler just flipping. I wish I could show you all the pictures of the car. They life-flighted her to the trauma center thinking she had head injuries. We didn't know anything. They wouldn't tell Troy Wayne anything except that that's where they were taking her. And when he got there, she'd been for a CAT scan, and when they rolled her back in, he sent me pictures. She looked horrible. Neck brace on, blood everywhere. Let me tell y'all what our God can do. Somebody said that there was a man that got her out of the vehicle. They couldn't find the man. It was an angel. Her seatbelt was still buckled in the car. She has seatbelt burns on her, but she was out of the car and standing in the median. Now y'all can think what you want to think, but every opportunity that I get to brag on my Jesus, I'm going to do it. And I know that He sent an angel to protect Terry, to keep her. And you know what her injuries are? some bruises. She has little fractures in her left cheek, and her left shoulder is fractured. It will have to heal on its own. And today they're going to do a surgery to fix this socket back. And it's not really, really bad, but it'll be sunk in if they don't fix it. But what I'm telling y'all is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is the present. It's a gift from God. You're not promised another day. Open that gift up and enjoy the day. And do what I've been telling y'all. Make sweet memories with your family. You never know when they drive out of the driveway if they're coming back alive or not. We're very blessed that God took care of Terry. The guy that drove the helicopter that took her came to see her. He could not believe that she lived through that wreck. The nurses and doctors are just in awe that anybody could walk away from a wreck like that. Y'all, it pays to have a relationship with Jesus, and it pays to have His angels surrounding you and protecting you. And we have our daughter-in-law with us still because of that. Now, she'll have surgery this afternoon. This is Friday, to fix her cheekbone up here around her eye. And she'll be in the hospital a day or two, but y'all, enjoy the present. It may be all you have. The good Lord bless and keep y'all. You know, I'm just going to eat this wrap. I'm not going to make another one. I may come back with another video and make some taco and pizza wraps, but I told y'all the way you do it's the same. It's just the ingredients that you put in it. And of course, you don't get to hear me rattle if I don't show you how I do it. But we'll have something else good coming up. I got a couple of good casseroles. One of them I found on the internet that I really like, and another one of my subscribers sent me her aunt's green bean casserole that they had for all holidays, and I'm going to make it. So y'all have those videos coming up pretty soon. But today, I'm just going to enjoy the present. I'm hunkered down and staying home because of the weather, but I'm blessed to be here. Please tell your friends about the channel. I want my subscriber number to grow. I'm thankful for every one of y'all. I pray and ask the Lord to bless my subscribers. I thank you for watching. And we got some fun stuff coming up. We're going to do, I got an Azure haul that I'm going to show y'all what I bought. I'm going to show you what the garden looks like when it quits raining. Troy's got some tomatoes in our grandson helped him plant. And we got potatoes that are looking good. And by the way, he does not qualify for a transplant because the pressure in his lungs is still too high. So they are going to change the medication for the lungs and give him something else. And we'll go back in another month or two, probably 2 months, because this was a 2-month interval, for another heart cath to check the pressure. Now, if the pressure in his lungs goes down and is normal, then he will be on the transplant list. But at this point, there's no use to put another heart in there. It couldn't handle the pressure in the lungs. So this must be God's plan. He orders our steps. So we're just trusting Him. They said for Troy to do what he feels like doing, sit down when he gets out of breath and can't do anything. Well, he can't do much. But we got a grandson that comes and does all the hard work for him. And so Troy can and he's teaching little Richard a lot of stuff. And Troy can just ease around and sit down and do stuff. So we're just going to enjoy life and do what we can. And all of us getting older can't do what we used to could. So we'll do as much as we can and make some good memories. I'll see y'all in a day or two, and I sure appreciate you coming back and listening to me rattle.